Hi everyone, it's IRL and I am talking to Updog.
Yeah, hello. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, ARL. It's to be here finally after all the amazing guests you've had so far. I feel like hopefully I can live up to the standard.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I generally like to ask people kind of how they found Algorand or a little bit about themselves, but I'm so excited for you to explain Updog too. So we'll get right into it. Tell me a little bit
Cool.
about yourself.
Yeah, so I found Algorand a year and a half, 2 years ago. Really at the end of the GameStop saga, or maybe at the beginning, depending on who you are. Short story: people turned off the buy button and caused the price to go down. And to me, it made me painfully aware of how centralized systems have a huge incentive to protect the big actors and at the expense of the small actors. And it was very frustrating to see something that should be a protocol just basically shut down to prevent people from losing, their margin. And that was a catalyst for me to go look at, blockchain. And I remember getting interested in ETH back when mining was a big deal. But Algorand, as somebody who has like a science background, it was really interesting for me to learn and like dive into the white papers, see how it works, understand the logic. Like it seemed to be, at least to me, the most technologically interesting. Same answer everybody gives. Yeah, so that's kind of what brought me to this space, and what's kept me around is just everybody's so fun and engaging in the Twitter game.
We get some very cool discussions that happen over Twitter Spaces. I always love when you're a part of them. And I feel like you and I had a fantastic discussion a couple months back over a Twitter space. I'm all about the public, open, collaborative conversation, right? And I feel like it was kind of something everybody had been wanting, but nobody had done yet, right? We were talking about the next first best step, right? And
Mhm.
it was a really powerful conversation. I got a lot out of it. But then very shortly after that, Updog arose. So tell me what Updog is.
So the pain point we were identifying in that conversation was, or one of the many, right? But the principal one that we were talking about was, DAO tooling, DAO like self governance tools on Algorand, and all the advantages that would come with having such a good L1 as your engine there. So Updog was created as a first pass solution at DAO tooling on Algorand. It's a treasury contract managed by token holders, and it's unlike any other, any other entity that claims itself to be a DAO on Algorand, because proposals are decentralized, management is decentralized. There are no backdoors. There are no safety mechanisms. It's not upgradable, and I hope to have that contract open sourced pretty soon. That will be another big first there. So completed our first successful vote on mainnet, and so far it looks like it's going well. Knock on wood.
Well, and like you said, that was kind of the pain point that we were talking about. DAOs, for anybody who does not know, DAO, is Decentralized Autonomous Organization, right?
Absolutely correct.
Okay. And so there's all sorts of really fantastic use cases that people can get together and think of how a decentralized autonomous organization would cut through so much red tape. It would remove biases, right? That allow
Mhm.
people access to certain financial tools and aid. And there's just so many fantastic use cases. And I always struggle with the term use case because I feel like finding the solution to a problem, people don't always consider that a use case. And I think that's a more moving proposition, right?
Mhm.
So we were talking about DAOs, and it's been a huge thing in the Algorand system ecosystem for gosh, over a year, I would say. I don't know officially when the first word DAO was used publicly for a group on Algorand, but it's been a while.
Mhm.
And we've seen builders come in and everybody's working on it, but there really wasn't anything for the community to sink their teeth into and see and feel the progress, even if it wasn't our ideal format. So you have been working on developing these, like you said, kind of like first stage. I used Updog. There was a relaunch, right? So now we're on Updog 2.1. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, which is technically the third iteration. And in all honesty, I think it's an achievement just to say that, like, funds were not lost. All funds appear to be recoverable. The only issue with the relaunches was that there was no upgrade mechanism. So I added a decentralized upgrade mechanism that I think is absolutely essential. Like, it basically gives people to vote to replace the contract. Want to transfer the treasury to another,
Oh, you built
contract.
that in on the new one?
Yeah, so it's got a version system and
Okay.
the ability for everybody to if 66% of token holders decide that they want to basically transfer the entire, then that's what will happen.
Right. So I
And
know with the first iteration that there was a problem, and you're like, okay, so I need to reiterate this. And the community actually, like, there was a vote to move those funds. And so you've taken that kind of and rolled it in so that you can vote on different versions of the contract and not have to swap, like, say, tokens.
you will have
Okay.
to swap
That's really
tokens.
cool.
You will have to still swap tokens. Like, what I like about this solution is that it allows multiple of these treasuries to exist at once, and you can decide swapping either into contract A or contract B. You get to vote about. It gives people a way to swap into a new contract before the treasury has been initialized, and like, it also gives people, like, so here's an example, right? Like, let's say somebody wants to fork the DAO, they start a competing version. Right? They could use this as a template, modify some stuff, and I release a new version at the same time. People can decide if they want to swap into his or swap into mine, or split it 50-50. It makes it fully configurable.
And that's not the only thing you can do. Obviously, the treasury management aspects are taken out of people's hands, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly, and it's all executed by the contract. So, like, I don't have to. Like, I don't have any backdoors. I can't take the funds. You don't have to trust me. The contract is written, right? Assuming the contract is done correctly, right? And everybody listening to this should be aware that this is like brand new technology. There may be bugs that discover because nobody else has anything like it on chain. But yeah, like, assuming it's
right.
good, there's no backdoors. There's no ability for me to take the funds. There's no, like, manager address. It's everything that involves money or funds or assets getting taken out has to be done by vote, except for your
Very
stake. You
cool.
can stake and unstake. That's the one thing
I
that
was
you get to
I was
decide.
just going to go through some of the things that you can do, and I'd love you to walk me through it. So you can stake and unstake your token, and for now, we're just using the DGen 2 token, right?
Yes,
And if you have DGen 1, you can trade it. That's all good in like D&D. But so it's just the DGen 2 token now, but down the road, this could be opened up for other community tokens and
absolutely,
types of
yeah,
treasury.
absolutely, yeah. So I fully intend on um, launching, basically building a treasury launcher. So anybody can go. They can contract with their own token or an existing token. Um, and just click a button and launch a treasury with all the voting features that they'd like. And you can even, I'm trying to work on a way to do NFT based voting instead of token based. It's a little harder, but
That
definitely
would be very
possible.
cool, though. Yeah, that would be very
Yeah.
cool.
And like,
Because
it
I
may
know
not
a lot
be.
of.
Oh, sorry, good.
Go ahead.
No, you
I was
please.
just gonna say I know we have a lot of voting tokens out there already, and like as it grows, it's only going to increase. And then there's opt-ins and stuff, and it'd be cool to vote with stuff that's already in your wallet. If that makes sense, like NFTs.
Yeah, totally agree.
Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah, I think it will
So you
be.
can, sorry, you can swap and you can swap to get the DGen 2 token. You can stake and unstake, but then anybody can make a proposal. There's just a couple parameters. Correct?
Mhm.
And that's pretty, like, I've looked at it. There's like drop downs of, I want to remove these funds. I want to withdraw this. I'd like to transfer that. There's all sorts of different proposals that you can make. Right?
Yeah, related to managing the funds, and the cool thing is anybody who holds the token is the proposal fee can ask that proposal, and everybody gets to vote on it. And like, if it there's NFTs in that treasury, right? You can cast a proposal, say, I want to withdraw this NFT, right? There's a right now in that treasury contract, there's a mutant goanna and a poof. Like if somebody wanted it, they could just go propose a vote, and if people are like, sure, fine, you're the first person who decided to make the vote, draw it. Like we think it would be good advertising for you to give it to you.
Man, all right. Maybe I'll have to propose that IRL gets another poof.
Yeah, right. You just go on.
But
You click get token. You put your address as the receiver. You put the ASA ID that you want to withdraw. And I've got some tokens. Maybe I'll vote yes. Maybe I'll vote no. Who knows?
very cool. And so there's a proposal up now. It ends in just over a day. So I'm assuming there might be another one up for vote by the time I get this edited and published. But it's pretty. You just go to the site and it tells you what's going on. So, like for example, right now they're looking at reducing the proposal fee.
Mm-hmm.
That is the proposal.
Yeah, and so the proposal is to reduce the proposal fee so that it might be cheaper for people. I'm the only one who's wanted to pay the fee, and I'm totally okay to pay that fee. And just as demonstration, I'm sure at some point they will propose their own proposal. But the nice thing is there's no technical barrier to decentralization there. It's literally just if whoever wants to participate, right? Until there's more people, I'm going to be the one making the proposals. But at some point, there will be somebody else who wants to do something with that treasury, and there's nothing I can do to stop them from doing however they like, or buying as many tokens as they want, or not buying any tokens, whatever, right? It's fully out in the wild, and it's only centralized for the possible reason, right? Which is nobody's using it.
Well, and I feel like that's the problem with a lot of builders, especially when you're in a small ecosystem. And I feel like some of it is also people like me we're slow and we need to talk about it 6 ways from Sunday to wrap our small brain around it.
I definitely think as it gets more airtime, people will play around with it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So if somebody wants to check it out, you go to Updog.vote, right? Is that the site?
Absolutely, yeah. And it, like you said, it tells you what's going on, right? So if a vote, they can only do one proposal at a time. So if there's an active proposal, you can't cast a new proposal. The UI switches to a proposal page where you can upvote, and see the total, which is the upvotes minus the downvotes on the left side, and the proposal details.
Okay, and a lot of times when I ask builders, how can we support you? They say go to my site, use my page, play around with it, give me feedback. Is that kind of the case here? If you want to kind of support the first, I call it pioneering steps of this autonomous treasury management, is that the best way to go about supporting this project?
Yeah, go use the site. I mean, if you want to, right? If you're willing to take the tremendous risk, right? If you're prepared to lose all your funds, because this is uncharted territory,
right.
And the best way for you to contribute to the project would be go use the site, make some proposals, upvote, downvote. What I think the primary value of this, so just to be fully transparent, I don't take in the contract that gives me money. I'm not earning. I can't take from the treasury. The only way I can get paid is if I ask the treasury to pay me, and I may at some point submit a vote that's all right, here's all the work I did. The treasury's at Algo. Can I have 100,000 because I built the whole thing, and people can decide yes or no if they want, right? But there's nothing structurally built into the contract where I am taking from the contract. There's no fees that I get specifically. It all goes to the treasury. So go use it, right? If the funds get lost, that would suck. Would really suck.
Well, just the disclosure though, you shouldn't have anything in crypto or otherwise that you're not don't bet more than you can afford to lose. And when you're using a pioneering technology or platform, definitely that, proceed with caution.
Yeah.
Don't have more in than you could afford to lose. Is important to remember because it's exciting. But I think everybody can find a way to be a part of it and help kind of tool it, even if it's one algo or you know what I mean.
I think that would mean a lot to see people use it, right? And like the primary value of this is like educational, right? Like the community gets to learn. At some point, if there is a vulnerability, like that's incredibly valuable information to the community, right? Like this is a beacon. It's a bug bounty program, right? Where the entire treasury is the bounty.
I normally ask for advice, but I'm going to wait. And I'm going to ask to talk to you in a couple weeks, maybe a month, and see how this current proposal goes. If anyone else proposes with the proposal prices, like I want to check back with you on this. Is that cool? And you can kind of give us advice then.
No, definitely. I think I still have a lot to learn, and hopefully in a month I'll have even more experience to share with how it's gone. So I would definitely be excited to check back in.
All right. So this is the first smart contract DAO tooling available on Algorand, right? That I know.
Yeah, first on mainnet, as far as I know. I mean, at least with decentralized proposals, like some people have
That's
argued.
huge. Decentralized voting and decentralized proposals are huge. Like that's the whole point, right? I don't know. It's just my personal take on it. But yeah, I love that you're not picking the winners and losers. Okay. Updog, we'll talk again soon. I want an update, but I really appreciate you taking a second to kind of explain what Updog is, how it works, why we're so passionate about it, and we will follow up as the experiment continues.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the interest and the platform. So it's hopefully something we can all benefit from.
I believe, that's one of the reasons I think a lot of us have come to the blockchain and stayed, like you said, was for the community, but also we feel that social and environmental responsibility, and we want to be part of the solution. I appreciate it, and I hope we will get to talk again soon.
Awesome. Thank you.